Hello. Welcome to the barber shop. In here we have all sorts of different things that would be commonly seen in your typical barber shop in the early 1800s. Now what was most interesting about barbers is that they weren't just there to cut your hair. They were also dentists and doctors. That's what the red, meaning blood, white, meaning bandages, and blue, meaning something else that I do not remember, that would be on your typical barbershop pole, which we are soon to be installing in this very room before Old Settlers of this year 2023. But for now, we'll just start with what we have here. We have an unconditional guarantee for a lifetime for a razor, and it is still on display in there. And then of course, all sorts of different things that would have been sold in your typical barbershop. Because remember, they weren't just there to cut your hair, they were also there to make some money and make sure that they could sell you the brand new safety razors. So even though during this time safety razors exist, many barbers still used straight razors because it gave them a more accurate shave, and that's what they trained with. However, the day-to-day American preferred to use a safety razor because it was inherently safer. Now these are razor honing whetstones, which are at an extremely high grit to make sure that your shave is as close as possible. And then we'll move down here. You can see hair tonic, which was extremely popular during that time. It's very similar to how we see snake oil today. You can see hair clippers. So these ones, you squeeze them, and they're basically like really long scissors, which will cut through. These ones were a little less accurate, but they were commonly used for trimming your beard. This type was, at least. However, if you look over here, we do have a couple things on this dentist stand, which was oftentimes used by barbers because many things weren't custom made for barbers. You can see here this one. Now this is a little bit more industrial than that one, and it uses multiple blades that move across in order to cut your hair as accurately as possible. It also has the ability to attach on different lengths, like most modern ones have. And then of course we have a small mirror for the barber to be able to show the client the back of their head, as well as the large mirror that's up on the wall there. And then this small shaving cup. So what they would do is they would shave some shaving soap into here, mix it with water, and use the shaving brush in order to apply it. This creates a lubricant to ensure that you do not cause any razor burn or cuts when using a straight razor. Do not ever use a straight razor without using shaving cream. I cannot stress that enough. I have used straight razors in the past. It is not fun to try to use without shaving cream. I know this not because I did it, but because I know somebody that tried, and it was not very pretty. Now here is a very, very nice barbershop chair. This one is made out of cast iron, steel, and pure oak. It is extremely heavy, and it was taken up here by some very, very gracious volunteers who brought it up these multiple flights of stairs. And as you saw earlier, I was honing the blade of that straight razor using this. Now this is just a leather strip that allows the barber, in order to hone the edge of their blade, to make sure it's as sharp as possible for the best shave that they can possibly get. And finally, in this part of the room, we have an old radio. And radios were oftentimes used to entertain guests as they sat here and listened and got their haircut or waited for their haircut. And then we have a small vacuum cleaner here used to clean up the hair. A lot of ones in the 1800s used brooms and dustpans. However, this is what we had on hand, and it does still work for the time period. We won't be going over onto the other side of this wall. That's going to be a whole separate video talking about the beauty shop and Pearl Head's beauty shop. So until then, I hope you enjoy going through the Lewis and Clark Trail Museum.